Hi everyone. I brought with me today one of my favorite kitchen ingredients, coconut oil, because it can be very confusing which coconut oil do you buy. So we're going to go over a complete buyer's guide today to help you balance that choice for you and your family. Hi everyone, I'm Wardee with Traditional Cooking School by Gnaufglens, and welcome to Ask Wardee. This is the weekly show where I answer your questions about traditional cooking. I love gathering with you. We do it live, but it's also recorded, so the complete notes for everything I'm sharing today is at askwardee.tv. Just look for episode 72 or check out any of the other archives. I will add the recording later, but right now all the notes and everything I'm going to share is right there waiting for you. So if you have to step away or you prefer to read instead of watch, askwardee.tv is your spot. Hi Periscope, hi Facebook Live viewers. I'm so happy you're with me live. If you're with me on Facebook Live, Millie is right there posting links and answering questions in the comments, and I'll go back later and answer myself. No matter where you're watching, listening, reading, please do hit the subscribe and share button right around this video or recording so that you can share this broadcast with others. It really helps us spread the message of joyful, healing, traditional foods for you and your families. All right, so if everybody's ready, we will get into it. And as I begin, if you're with me live, please do share, as is our custom, where you're from, your first name, and what you're sipping on today. And bonus points if somebody is sipping on something that has coconut oil in it. All right, so here we begin. Here's the terms that you might run into if you're shopping for coconut oil. Refined, unrefined, virgin, expeller-pressed, cold-pressed, centrifuge extracted. Those are all descriptions you might see, and it's enough to boggle the mind, especially if you're brand new to this world of healthy cooking, healthy ingredients starting from scratch. But it's really not that complicated. Don't pull your hair out. We're going to get to the bottom of it today. This is actually a question that came from Marie N. She said, I'm so confused. Everyone says coconut oil is amazing and I really want to use it, except, and here's the kicker, whenever I start shopping for it, I'm overwhelmed by all the types: refined, unrefined, centrifuge, expeller, cold, virgin. Which one should I choose and why? Well, let's get into my answer. Before I give you kind of my bottom line, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to talk about what's important here when you're making your choice, because you got to go into it starting out with what kind of things are important to you and understanding that, so then when you're evaluating options, you can find the right ones that meet those kind of overriding goals. Second, we're going to go through all the types of coconut oil so that you can decode what all those words mean and come to a conclusion, okay? And then I'll kind of share some bottom lines, which is not necessarily going to be one size fits all. I'm going to give you some bottom lines. If you're like this, you need this. If you're like this, you need this, and so on. All right, so what's important we're going to start with. I'm going to talk about what's important in my kitchen. You take this and run with it if you're the same. If it's not, then you got to modify and make it work for you. So in my kitchen, I'm balancing two things. Foods being as healthy as possible while still being a flavor, taste that everybody loves. I probably think most of you would agree with that. And if you're live or even coming on later, you can leave a comment. Depending on where you are, you can put a thumbs up or a heart or whatnot and say whether that suits you as well. And when you're talking about coconut oil, it is generally true. Generally, I'm putting in italics there, because it's not always, but it's generally true that the less refined the coconut oil, the healthier it is. And the coconut flavor is stronger. So here's where that balance comes in. Can you tell? So the least refined, the healthier it is, but the stronger the flavor. Now, if you have special needs though in your kitchen, like frying, the least refined is not the best oil to use in that purpose, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So in our kitchen, we tend toward using one of the least refined coconut oils because of the health benefits. And we do like the flavor of coconut, though I agree it doesn't always go. So totally up to you. You may, or someone in your family may not care for the flavor of coconut. And so that is something you have to balance, and you're going to end up going more refined because you get a more neutral flavor. Again, something you have to weigh for yourself, and there's no wrong answer here. And I'm going to say that with a caveat. There is no wrong answer provided you start with quality oils from a quality company. And I'm going to recommend, we're going to talk about today, my preferred source, Wilderness Family Naturals. Here's a jar of their coconut oil. And even their more refined, less coconutty flavor oils are still healthy. So I think if you choose from Wilderness Family Naturals, wherever you are on the spectrum of taste versus refining, you're going to get a really good quality oil. So that's the deal. And also, before we go through all the types, I want to say that you might have to try. Someone's asking for a close-up. Here you go. You can also visit askwardee.tv. And look at episode 72. I've got links to everything I'm going to mention today. So you may have to try some different kinds of coconut oils and different applications. You may choose or end up with, this is the one oil that our family uses all the time and it works for nearly everything. Or you may be like, well, I use this kind for this purpose and this kind for this purpose. So, it's something you want to explore. I'm going to get into the three types, but I do want to tell you all about a special offer from Wilderness Family Naturals. I'm talking about them because they're my favorite oil source. We started purchasing from Wilderness Family Naturals years ago. We did it because we were in Oregon and we had friends who also valued the same quality. And she made kind of like this buying club with people, and she would place a large order with Wilderness Family Naturals, so we would split on shipping and all get bulk prices no matter what size of oil we wanted. Anyway, so we would get coconut oil and red palm oil through this bulk buy. You don't have to do it that way. You can, of course. It may save you and your friends money, but you can order directly from them. And that is our beginning experience with Wilderness Family, and we've had a great experience ever since and chosen to purchase our oils either through our friends' bulk buy or directly ourselves ever since. And so I asked them, because I love their products so much, and I knew we were going to be talking about coconut. Last week we talked about coconut flour. Does it need to be soaked? That was Ask Wardee 71. This week we're talking about which coconut oil should you buy. And so what I did was I went to Wilderness and I asked them if they would put together a special package for all of you. Since we're talking about coconut, could they give you a package where you could try it? And Chris, the owner, was very kind, gracious, and said yes. And he put together this coconut trio. Together, it's full-size packages of coconut flour, coconut oil, coconut syrup, which is amazingly tasty. And all together, it's a $47 value. They're giving you an 22% off and free shipping. So basically, I'll give you the bottom line on it. One of these jars, coconut oil or coconut syrup, is like about $12. And with your 22% off savings, you're getting like one of these free plus shipping, which in the 48 states is like about $6. So that's your total savings of $18 right there. It's like getting one of these jars and your shipping free. It's a fantastic deal. Gonna paste a link below this video, but also you could just go to tradcookschool.com/trio because it's a coconut trio, Trio. Please do check it out. It's only going to be available through Monday, May 1st. So just a few more days. And I've heard that a lot of you have already snagged it and are really enjoying it and thankful for the deal. So that makes me happy because that's the whole point. All right, so I'll remind you of that at the end. But now let's go through the types of coconut oil. And I want to say two things about the types here. One is, I'm going to go in order from most refined to least refined. Second, that it's a given that I prefer organic. Okay, so organic growing methods are to be preferred over conventional across the board so that you have a quality whole ingredient, in this case, the coconut, that's generating the coconut oil. Okay, so it's a given that I say organic. And the types we're discussing, they're going to be, you can get them non-organic, well, some or all of them, but I'm going to say in each type we consider, go for organic, okay? So organic is a given. So we're going to start with refined coconut oil. This you will often see called expeller-pressed. Here's the kind of one-liner, just bullet points, and then I'll explain it, okay? So it has a clean, neutral flavor suitable for high heat cooking, baking, and frying. It's not raw, Choose organic, like I said before, and it's your least expensive option of coconut oil. No matter where you get it, it's your least expensive type. Now, let's talk about what that means. So coconut oil that's refined means that it's gone through a process that removes coconut flavor, coconut aromas, and impurities. According to Wilderness Family Naturals, they have an article, and it's linked at askwardee.tv with these show notes. They have an article called Decoding Coconut Oil Labels. This is what they say about this process. Organic coconuts are opened and quickly dried. These dried coconuts are then mechanically pressed to remove the oil. No chemical solvents are used at any time during the process. Any free fatty acids in the oil are removed. Next, the oil is run through diatomaceous earth and finally steam distilled. So, there's some things in there that we may not know off the top of our heads, and feel free to look them up or whatnot. But the point is, this is the way they get the oil out of the coconut and the things that they do to clean it up. The resulting oil is pure and neutral in both taste and aroma. It's commonly sold as expeller-pressed coconut oil. It's ideal for baking, sautéing, frying, and cooking, and is usually the most budget-friendly type of coconut oil. So that is generally how refined or expeller-pressed coconut oil is made. Wilderness Family Naturals, again, this is what makes them so great. They add an additional step of filtering, so it's even cleaner and more mild in flavor. This type of oil, this is not the one that I have, but anyway, if you were to get this type of oil, the refined expeller-pressed, it is not raw because it has been exposed to heat during the processing. It's usually the least expensive option, like I said, and it's the most versatile of all the oils, coconut oil types. High heat, low heat, it has all the applications there. It can even be filtered and reused. Like if you were going to do some deep frying, you can filter out the solids and reuse it several times in your own kitchen because it's stable at high heats. It doesn't go rancid. So it's a really good choice. Number one, for a neutral flavor. Number two, for high heat frying or baking. So that is the refined coconut oil, aka expeller-pressed. Okay? Now, that's type number one, the most refined. And I'm going to say the options that I'm going through here, the most refined to least refined, are really of the oils that I would consider healthy enough to include in our kitchens. Okay, there's probably solvent, chemically, high heat extracted oils out there on the market. I'm not talking about those because we wouldn't even consider those. Okay, type number two, and that is this one that I prefer. I mean, I've used all, I like them all, but this is the one that we get most often. This is virgin, unrefined, cold-pressed coconut oil. Here is the bullet point explanation of what this coconut oil is. Stronger coconut flavor, suitable for medium heat cooking, plus baking and body care. It is raw. Choose organic. Now let me tell you some more details about this type of oil. So even though no heat or chemicals are used or supposed to be used in this extraction process, some companies do use higher heat, which results in a toasted coconut taste or worse, burnt or rancid flavors. What's actually supposed to happen in this type of processing, and this is the careful processing that Wilderness Family does for their virgin coconut oil, their cold-pressed oil. They follow it the way it's supposed to be. And what I just described to you is some companies who allow heat or chemicals to be introduced into the process. What's supposed to happen, though, is that fresh coconut meat, the refined that we were just talking about, is not necessarily fresh coconut meat. But for this coconut oil, it is fresh coconut meat. It's grated and dehydrated. The drying process is important to the taste and the quality of the oil. Then the dried coconut is gently pressed at varying degrees of pressure and temperature. No heat or chemicals are used in this process, or supposed to be used in this process. So this cold pressing, if it's done according to how it's supposed to be, as Wilderness does, that preserves the coconut flavor of the coconut oil. Many describe it as pleasantly mild coconut flavor, which is how I would describe it. You can taste the coconut, and I like it, and our family likes it. But sensitive individuals might say that's too strong. So it's really a preference thing. It has low moisture content, so it has a very long shelf life. okay? And it's not as suitable for high temperature baking. It's kind of medium high heat baking, okay? And again, there's links to all these oils at askwardee.tv. Look for episode 72 or just look below this video wherever you're watching it. Now, our third type of coconut oil, now we're getting to the least refined, and this is really the last one I'm going to describe in depth, is centrifuge extracted coconut oil. It's also virgin, like this one. It's also raw, but it's not expeller-pressed, it's not cold-pressed, it's centrifuge extracted. The bullet point explanation on this type: it's a light coconut flavor and it's suitable for raw applications like smoothies or cereal or right off the spoon. So if anybody's telling you the purported health benefits of coconut oil and they're telling you to eat it straight, they're talking about centrifuge extracted coconut oil. And it could be this one. It could be the cold pressed, but it's more likely the centrifuge extracted. And the centrifuge extracted can also be used in cooking or body care. It is raw. It's from fresh coconuts. You want to choose organic. This type is not widely available. There's a few companies that make it. Wilderness is one of them, and it is the most expensive. Okay? Here is the blurb about how it's made from Wilderness. They say centrifuge extracted coconut oil is made by first pressing the fresh white coconut meat to obtain coconut cream. This cream is approximately 40% oil. The pressing should be done on a special machine where both the pressing plate and the sleeve are cooled by chilled water, so it doesn't get hot. It needs to be done in a cool environment. Next, the cream is concentrated using a centrifuge to yield a higher and higher percentage of oil, while the proteins and water-soluble substances are separated out. All moisture, fiber, and proteins can be removed without the use of heat. So that again is the description of how centrifuge extracted oil happens, which Wilderness Family, this is not centrifuge extracted, but that is how Wilderness Family processes and makes available one of their oils, and it's their highest quality oil. In addition, Wilderness carefully monitors the temperature during their processing to see that it never exceeds 104 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's truly raw. And then they add an additional filtering step so it's even cleaner and more mild flavored, again, without any heat. So again, askwardee.tv, episode 72, or look with this video and you'll be able to follow links to any of these oils I've mentioned. So, which to choose? We've talked about refined cold pressed. We've talked about unrefined expeller-pressed virgin. We've talked about unrefined centrifuge extracted virgin, all of which are organic. And these are the three main offerings from Wilderness Family at my favorite source. So to sum it up for you, this is what I'm going to just go through some of the needs in your kitchen you might have so you can evaluate this. Always go for organic, and it's a given with anything that I'm linking to at the show notes, askwardee.tv. Now, if your family prefers a mild flavor above all else, you'd want to choose the expeller-pressed refined, or you might go for the cold-pressed virgin if you like that milder coconut flavor and to you it's not too strong. For high heat frying or baking, you would choose expeller-pressed, the most refined because it is suitable for high temperature frying and baking. The others don't do as well at high temperatures. For eating raw or for the most health benefits, you would choose centrifuge extracted, the least refined one, or the cold pressed. And if you're talking about the health benefits, the centrifuge extracted is the best choice there. But if you want to be more versatile so you can use it raw or baking or for health, you've got the cold pressed, which I just let you know why I choose the cold pressed, because it's very versatile. We don't do high heat frying. If we did, I would have another option. But, you know, for all of our raw to baking needs with a mild coconut flavor that we like, it's cold pressed for us. And cold pressed is what's included in your coconut trio if you purchase that. Another thing that comes up, and I'm not going to go into depth on this, but we often run into recipes on the internet that are calling for coconut oil, like in body care products or crafts, right? So if you want a high quality coconut oil, like for candles, soaps, deodorants, or body butters, you could use cold pressed or centrifuge extracted, but it's a lot of money. that maybe you don't want to spend on something like that. So Wilderness Family is one of the only, or maybe the only company that actually offers a high quality craft oil. The difference between their craft oil and these is really the level of impurities. So it hasn't been cleaned up, so it's less expensive for you to purchase, but still high quality. So that's another option, and we have links with this video to that. Okay, so Marie, that's your buyer's guide to coconut oil. I hope that helps you be not confused at all. So when you weigh how much flavor your family can tolerate, your needs in your kitchen, hopefully you'll know which choice to make. And again, for us, it's the cold pressed. It's versatile, healthy, and we like the coconut flavor. So that's why we go with the cold pressed. And again, the cold pressed is what's included in the coconut trio that's on special now from Wilderness Family Naturals through Monday, May 1st. And I want to highly recommend that you all jump on that and take advantage of it. I heard from them that, 100, there may have been 100 packages moved already, which is exciting to me that so many of you are jumping on it. So please, if it's you're thinking about it or the first time you hear about it, check it out. Here's what's included. You can check it out at tradcookschool.com/trio, TRIO, or there's a link with this video. It's 3 coconut products: coconut oil, coconut syrup, and coconut flour. What would be best for your teeth? The cold pressed or centrifuge extracted. These are full size, 2.2 pounds, 16 ounces each of these. Altogether, it's $47, but they discounted it by 22%, so you're going to pay $29, and you get free shipping if you're in the 48 states. To break that down for you, with the free shipping and the total savings, or the 22% off, it's like getting one of these jars, so your coconut oil or your coconut syrup for free plus free shipping. It's a fantastic deal. Fantastic deal on really, really good products. So tradcookschool.com/trio, TRIO, or look with this video, and please take action by Monday, May 1st, because then the offer goes away, and I want to make sure that as many of you as possible take advantage of it. I want to follow up before we close here. Last week, when I was talking about coconut flour in episode 71, one of our Periscope viewers, I think it was Periscope, said, is coconut syrup THM food? Because I was showing off these no-bake salted caramels. And coconut syrup really doesn't fit with THM, Trim Healthy Mama, because of the sugar content. We try to keep those down and not use high sugar foods when we have carb meals. So what I did was I played around with the no-bake recipe, which the no-bake recipe actually uses coconut flour, coconut oil, and coconut syrup. So everything that's in this trio, you can make these no-bakes. There's a link with this video. But what I did was play around with it so that to make it THM for you. So what I did was omitted the coconut syrup, which still get the trio, and let everyone else have this, drizzle it on their pancakes or whatnot. So I just omitted the coconut syrup from this recipe, and instead of it, I used stevia to taste, which was like 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon or so. Stevia is very concentrated sweet herb. So just do it to taste. Start with 1/8 of a teaspoon and work up in small amounts to get the sweetness you need. And I used maple extract to get that mapley. You could even use a caramel if you had that, but to get that caramely flavor of these no bakes. And they turned out really, really good. So here they are. So when you get the coconut trio, try these out because all the products make it. But if you're doing THM, then let the family have the coconut syrup and you use stevia and maple or caramel extract, okay? And the link to these no bakes will be with this video too. We actually have a whole bunch of recipes right now using coconut products so that you can make good use of this trio if you take advantage of it. I think really that's everything I wanted to say. Oh, well, one more thing is if you go to Ask Wardee TV, look for episode 72. That's the notes and everything I've shared today for this episode. I've got a whole bunch of links here for you to check out more uses for coconut oil because it's an amazing food. It's the saturated fats and all the health properties like antifungal. And someone was just asking about using it for your teeth. Yeah, you can do oil pulling and clean your teeth. Just amazing coconut oil. So we have 21 ways coconut oil can clean, pamper, and nourish your body from head to toe. That link is there for you. We have the no bakes that I just showed you. Give those a try with your trio. We have paleo chocolate chip cookie brownies. We have 3 homemade coconut oil deodorant recipes. We have a whipped body butter with essential oils that I use every day. Excuse me. 10 reasons to use coconut oil plus 33 recipes, a southern coconut cream pie, and of course the red palm oil link I was telling you about. That was one of the first things we purchased from Wilderness. Red palm oil makes amazing, just like the movie theater popcorn. So pop your popcorn in it and it'll be yellow like the theater, but super healthy. On Periscope, I make that body butter. It's wonderful. Yay! Well, thank you everyone so much for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you every week for asking your questions. I hope you come back again next week because we do this every week at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, where I answer your questions about traditional cooking. If you'd like to add a question to the queue, that's the hashtag #AskWardee. You can send me a message on Twitter to my handle @TradCookSchool. Use that hashtag. Or if Twitter's not your thing, an email is Wardee, WARDEE, @askwardee.tv. Thanks. God bless you. Bye-bye.